Do you want to really know what the high income or high net worth people are doing to get them where they are? So what I can share with you is from my experience advising my clients. Now let's start with high net worth and high income. You can see here. Based on my experience advising clients in this category, people who are both high net worth and high income, they're always looking to de-risk. What is de-risk? It means instead of having their money concentrated in one asset classes or in one country or in one platform, they always want to be educated on or informed about how can they diversify their investment or their assets more. When the market drops, such as the property markets or the stock market, they will still be able to weather through, survive, or even thrive in those times of uncertainty. Clients who are in this high income and high net worth category usually they do one or do two things very well, whether it's in their business or in their job, especially for employees. I have seen that people with, a household income of more than $1 million a year, husband and wife, or, as an individual, when I see their BE form, clocking like 400, 500,000 in a year, these are high income individuals, and naturally, they are always very good at what they do. And I want to tell you that that concentration builds wealth while diversification keeps wealth. Clients in this category, if they happen to be in their early 30s, usually they come from very well-off family. They don't need to work for others. They work in their family business. That's why they have high income. And they probably at those young age, they would have one or few businesses already under their name. It's a misconception. You could be high income and high net worth even when you're in your 20s or 30s. But of course, it's more common to see that when clients are in their 50s. And when you are relatively young, this kind of privileged situation they are in allows them to prudently invest or buy more assets or business. And the conversations that I had with these younger clients, Gen Y or whatnot, their thinking are very mature. Talk about finances, business and money comfortably than probably some of those other people who are in their 50s who are not in this kind of situation. And when in their 40s and 50s, there's this Muslims also have a unique situation. They are high income and high net worth, and their concern is how to structure their money so that it legitimately goes to their closest family member when they pass on, right? Rather than being subjected to the Muslim Farai law. Now this is where things like hiba, amana, or trust comes in. And high income and high net worth, they are not really looking for a super high returns from stocks or forex trading, but they are much focused on consistently and safely growing and preserving their wealth. Then we have clients who are in the high net worth and low income group. Now just for context, when I say high net worth and low income, it does not mean like they are earning 5,000 a month with multi-million net worth. No, usually they will have multi-7 or 8 figures of net worth while earning a relatively modest income like 10,000, 20,000, or even 30,000 a month. The clients that I have advised in this category include those who have sold their businesses after working blood and sweat and tears for a few decades or more, and then or it could be employees having some stocks or equity ownership working for a company because they are the early employees when it comes to a startup companies, right? Or they could have inherited high value assets from their family members who have passed on, or they could also be receiving a substantial divorce settlement. Similar to high income and high net worth individuals, they're also very focused on preserving and protecting their capital, their money. However, the more important thing for them compared to the high income and high net worth individuals is how to maximize or optimize the cash flow or the passive income generated from assets in their name. They want this passive income to be sustainable for a very long or even indefinite amount of time. What's the strategies? So it will enable them to pursue something that gives them fulfillment and give them a sense of purpose or higher sense of purpose without really worrying about money too much. So instead of letting the money just sit in their savings account generating 1, 2, or even 3%, they want to explore, get yield of consistent and say 5 to 6% return. They are actually very delighted already. And the third wealth quadrant for the clients that I work with are the high income, low net worth individuals. Now this is actually mostly I see for professionals like doctors who after 10 years in the public sector, they transition from government hospital to private hospital, or it could be pilots they're working in like high-paying jobs in Singapore, China, or Middle East. And even if you consider, you're working, a Malaysian working in Singapore, that could be it, right, due to the exchange rate. And the focus of this kind of mind is to actually start to build a portfolio that will allow them to reduce, their clinical hours if you're a doctor, or have the options to actually reduce their working hours in the future. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that they don't enjoy their work. They could be still enjoying the work, but they want to plan ahead. What if I do not enjoy my work in the future? What if the company retrench me, right? So I would better prepare now, okay, to have a level of build of financial security, so that I have options in life if things don't go well with my job or my professional practice, right? When it comes to building wealth, they also want to do it in a safe way, avoiding foolish mistakes that could disrupt their wealth building journey. So, by late 40s or even 50, the needs to actually have a job will be entirely optional. And the last quadrant, I'm referring to those who are in the low income and low net worth situation. Now, if you think that investing is going to get you out of this quadrant, and make you a high net worth or high income overnight or even after a couple of years, then I think you have got this concept entirely wrong. You can't invest your way or trade your way out of a low income, because low income actually reflects low skill set. Your skill set are not in demand. If you are a low income earner, means that your skill set is not being paid highly, and it's not about the market. It's about having a more specialized skill set that organization, bosses, or company will pay for. So I would say, honestly speaking, the best thing to do is just to focus on earning a high income first, but acquiring skills, competency that can be paid highly, right? If you ask me, I usually do not advise people in this quadrant, because there's nothing really much to advise on. Because if you're a low income earner, it really doesn't make sense to focus on investing or even optimizing your money, because there's really no money left to optimize, right? Because if you can't save any money, no money, how to optimize? Focus on earning money first. And this is one of the things that it's really like unspoken. I just want to be really direct, no holds back, to you. And also, you can forget about budgeting. Budgeting is useless if you spend beyond what you can afford. All a budget is going to tell you that you are running negative, you are in a deficit. But don't you already know that? Now, you can be earning like 10,000 a month, but you could be like paying 4 or 5,000 a month for a car to impress people. I would still consider that as a low income mindset, where you are trying to look rich instead of being actually rich. Because if I come to tell you, I've got clients, who's driving a 15-year-old car, which he doesn't really drive much. It's like less than 10,000 kilometers per year, that kind of mileage. So the car is really new, even though it's 15 years. There's no need to change the car. But if you look at this investment retirement portfolio, it's multi-7 figures. So you see the difference? In other words, looks and the exterior appearance can be deceiving. The fact is, only you yourself knows whether you are really financially wealthy or not. When your financial circumstances improve, I would argue if you're low income and low net worth, right? Such as after having a decent emergency fund, or you have transitioned to a high-paying job, that could be a better time to seek for advice to ensure that you do things right and you do not make any disastrous financial mistake. So for the rest of this, the 3 quadrants that I mentioned, most of the time when I ask my clients, right, who are in the high net worth or high income or both quadrants, I say, why do you seek advice right now? Because most of them are in a pretty comfortable situation. And I say that, why don't you seek advice later, but why don't you seek advice prior to this? And you know what they say most of the time? They say, before this is a bad time, when I'm not a high income earner, or I'm not having a high net worth, or both, right? So it's really bad timing. So just like what I say, right? But then they say that when I'm already a high income or high net worth, another type of problem surfaces. They realize that I'm too busy. So it's also a bad time, right? When you're too busy, busy with work, busy your business, maybe busy with your family, children, if you're a parent, right? So as a conclusion, actually, this kind of advisory or whatnot, to get your finances in order, this matters. All the time can be a bad time, but they tell me they realize that when it's important enough for them, they will find the time. So it's like our health, right? When they say that when is the best time to take care of our health? Well, when you are healthy, because the best time to exercise, to have a proper diet, it's not when you are already overweight and you are sick with high blood pressure, with high blood sugar, with high cholesterol, and you just had a stroke or a heart attack, etc. It's not that time. You should exercise and die, because it already happened. So the best time when it comes to health is like before you have all these health issues, the best time is to exercise and to have a proper diet before all these health issues actually hit you. So these issues can be avoided proactively. So in the same analogy, I think the best time to get your finances in order is when you feel comfortable. You're in a comfort zone, the income are good, and the times are good. Your business is going well, your career is flying high, and before things go downhill in the future, when you are too complacent or you are not knowing the important things that you should know that will derail your finances.